So good down there. Get it right. Dear graduates, faculty, families, guests, staff, and friends, welcome to the campus green. It won't be quite as green after we're finished with it, but it started off green. How wonderful to have you all here with us for the Harvard Divinity School Diploma Ceremony. I want to just firstly congratulate the class of 2019. I'm so proud of you all at the morning exercises today. Honestly, the dental school had their plastic toothbrushes. The Kennedy School had their plastic globes of the world, and the hubris of it. I'd like just to take a moment to say thank you to parents, families, and friends on behalf of our students for your crucial support throughout the graduate studies here. We celebrate with you today as well, and I ask our graduates to rise, please, and express their thanks to you, their families and friends. Thank you. Thank you. So our student speaker this year, selected by competition, is Tony Amori Alcori, who is receiving the MDiv from HDS. Tony!
There were some amazing speeches today in the yard, so Lord have mercy upon me now. Good morning, parents, friends, teachers, staff, alumni, and of course, good morning, class of 2019. Good morning to all parents who couldn't come today here for any reason. And good morning to my adoptive family who are here from Texas, California, New York, and of course, Boston. Thank you all for coming. Good morning to my brother in Brazil, and good morning to my mom and dad who are in Syria, all of whom cannot come here because of the travel ban put on Syrians. I pray that you can watch me now live and not sitting in the darkness of the daily blackout. I know when my mom will be watching this, she will be crying and saying in Arabic, اسم يسوع حواليك, means may the name of Jesus may upon you. Well, I hope she will be laughing now after my joke. On behalf of my family, of my parents, and on behalf of the Syrian people, I really want to thank my classmates who nominated me today to stand here. This is the best gift my parents would have dreamt of, and this is the best compensation for their absence. Thank you, guys. It was impossible in my first year at HDS, when I was waking up every night with panic attacks because of the language barrier, to imagine that I would be standing here today in front of some of the most or the smartest people in the world, trying to speak clearly and fluently and in a good way, and trying not to make silly mistakes in English. I think I'm better than when I was before, but I will try my best. I hope today to share with you what Divinity School has offered us and what we can in turn offer to the world. When I came to the Divinity School in 2016, I came with many questions and a lot of tensions in my spiritual, intellectual, moral, and political views. I was expecting these tensions to be resolved. However, they were not. Let me share with you today 4 significant tensions that became relevant during my journey here at HDS. The first and the most clear, or the clearest tension that I and every single student here have faced since our first class, Theories and Methods, is the tension between theory and practice. What can we do and what should we do to deal with the tension between the academic knowledge we have gained here and the practical needs of ministry and the world? What can we really offer people who are in need and outside the academic bubble? In classes, we languished with text on eschatology, epistemology, post-structuralism, apophatic tradition, facticity, deontology, and a lot of other ologies and isms you can imagine. I would be very happy if someone could tell me what all these mean. I hope Din will keep our certificate after that. I do not want to ignore the importance of academia, the necessity of theory, and yet I struggle not to be swallowed by it. I do not want to forget that the ultimate goal is to make difference in the real world, not only in the academia, and yet I don't want to be solely defined by limits of practical experience. It's a big tension, isn't it? The second tension is the religious and spiritual tension, since we are Divinity School students after all. A serious tension I have had in HDS when I came is how I can find balance between, on the one hand, my tendency to be revolutionary, to be critical, able to fit in the modern world and the new approaches to religion, and on the other hand, my firm roots in history, in tradition, in the Bible, and conventional ways to approach religion. I really struggled in my first year because I wanted to be faithful to Jesus, to my tradition and beliefs as a Christian, and conscious and aware of any attempt to tamper with what has been essential to the church history throughout the years. And yet, I want to be able to deconstruct what is unhealthy and harmful. I want to have the courage to challenge what needs to be challenged. And this is not the only religious tension. I also struggled with how I can find balance between my belief in Jesus as the absolute universal truth coming from a conservative church in Syria, and on the other hand, the beauty and the richness and the genuineness I have learned and seen in my colleagues from the religious others. HDS is a very unique space because it offers us a place that can hold these religious tensions in a very healthy way. My classes and my classmates in HDS helped me wrestle with this tension and see the importance of its both sides. HDS classes respected our freedom as seekers to determine what in our tradition needs to be maintained and what needs to be challenged. It respected our spiritual journeys, and it did not impose any particular agenda. The third tension is related to politics, America's favorite pastime. I want to be able to advocate to my political views for what I really stand for what I really see as important to a just country and to a healthy community. I want to do that and be unapologetic about my political stand and my perspective of right and wrong. At the same time, I don't want to be polarized, intolerant, isolated, forced to live in a bubble with the people who are just like me. When I left Syria, the country was engulfed in civil war, torn between those who are proponents of the regime and those who are opposing it. Both were completely and still completely convinced that they are serving the country, but they are not. In fact, this polarization was the thing that torn the country more and more. I feel terrified when I witness today in the US a similar polarization. This country that adopted me and offered me the best education and probably the best employment in the future. The tension between necessity of standing for what we think as right in politics and not allowing that to build walls between us and those who see things as completely different than us is a huge difference. The last tension that I want to address today is one on a deeper level. It's grief versus hope. How I can live fruitfully within the tension between acknowledging and facing my grief, my trauma, my loss, my oppression, my imperfections, and all the things by which I am challenged on the one hand, and taking responsibility for my life and generating hope in order to move forward and survive on the other. A big tension during my journey at HDS was my continuous feeling that I am a victim of the war in Syria and the travel ban in the US, a situation which prohibited me from seeing my mom, who had breast cancer, my dad, who had open heart surgery, and my uncle, who passed away without being able to see any of them, and the possibility that I might not be able to see them for more couple years in the future. You can add to that my struggle with severe anxiety and mild depression. I want to acknowledge all of these issues and not run away from them. And yet, I want to live, I want to love, and I want to be loved. I really strive to be authentic and not to play the victim role, to justify actions that are against my morals and use people because I am stuck in this mentality of victim role. This mentality is toxic. The victim role mentality is toxic. I want to fight to keep hope and make meaning of all things that I don't have control over. Class of 2019. Our time at HDS is only the beginning of our journeys. The list of tensions I have shared is absolutely not comprehensive. I asked some HDS colleagues on Facebook after I was selected about what are your tensions in life? And I got similar responses and a lot others. Self-care and helping others, faith and doubt, intimacy and boundaries, construction and deconstruction, justice and forgiveness. and even tension about having tension. And you can add your own list. Every moment we have tensions. Every single moment we have tensions. Right now, we are facing tensions between the excitement of graduation and the anxiety of what is next. Our joy of accomplishment and our sadness of leaving people to whom we have been connected very deeply. I have a very serious tension right now. I'm trying my best to look confident and impress you, and look amazing. And something inside me saying, don't try to do that. Just be yourself and just be authentic and genuine. Back to what HDS offered us and what we can offer to the world. For me, the answer is this. HDS helped me accept tensions, to dwell with them, to befriend them, and yet grapple and wrestle with them and use that energy to fuel myself and serve the world. My time at HDS has shown me that tension actually is empowering. This realization is a great thing we can actually offer to the world because it will help us awaken, see reality, face the tension, and approach them with a constructive power instead of a destructive one. My friends, some tensions really threaten to hold us back. But what we can offer to the world is that insight that tensions in our life can pull us forward to find hope and meaning in our ultimate source of love. Class of 2019, I will use my mom words. اسم يسوع حواليكم. And congratulations!
Thanks so much, Tony, and thanks for drawing attention to our ability to leave tensions unresolved at HDS. and thank you for seeing it as empowering. This morning in Tercentenary Theatre, 108 degrees were conferred on the graduating class of 2019 of the Divinity School, inclusive of degrees earned in November, March, and May. These were comprised of 72 Master of Theological Studies, 33 Masters of Divinity, and 3 Doctors of Theology. So today we have the opportunity in a more intimate setting to celebrate these degrees and the individual attainments that they represent. Each graduate will be presented by the Associate Dean for Enrollment and Student Services, Tim Wilski. As each person comes forward to receive their degree, if the graduate has indicated a desire for us to do so, a brief statement about their plans will be read by Steph Gauchel, Assistant Dean for Student Affairs. So we will now award diplomas by degree, beginning with the MTS candidates.
We now present the graduates for the Master of Theological Studies. As the Dean mentioned, we have a tradition of reading a personal statement for each graduate if they've chosen to provide one. And we encourage you to celebrate the accomplishments of these wonderful people however you choose. So clap and holler as much as you'd like, but please hold your expressions to the end of their statement so you get to hear all of it. Michaela will now get started. Michaela Shane Allen.
Michaela thanks her partner for late-night visits to CVS to buy fizzy water and gummy bears, necessities for paper writing and Chinese studying. She also thanks her family, friends, and professors.
Miriam Elmarad.
Miriam is grateful for the lessons she has learned and for the ones that are yet to come. She is ever indebted to her parents and loved ones. She can't wait to read books that weren't assigned to her.
Sam Ames.
After graduation, Sam will be returning to their work as a civil rights lawyer, representing survivors of religious trauma at intersections of LGBTQ rights and mental health.
Noor Yahia Amur.
In the fall, Noor will be pursuing a PhD in anthropology at Stanford. She thanks her husband, Mohammed, and family for all the love and support that has carried her this far.
Jonathan Scott Badley.
Jonathan would like to thank his wife, Amy, for all of her patience and support over the last 2 years. He will begin a PhD in early modern European history at Vanderbilt University in the fall.
Danny Ballin Jr.
After graduation, Danny will return to Key West with his fiancee, Michael, to learn how to fish and scuba dive, to plan a wedding, and to apply to doctoral programs.
Courtney Suzanne Byther.
Courtney is grateful for the love and strength of her friends at HDS. She is also grateful for the Graduate Students Union. After graduating, Courtney plans to get a dog and name it Tater Tot.
Shannon Catherine Bowley.
Shannon is incredibly thankful to the community she found here at HDS and who helped bring her here. She couldn't have done it without her family. We made it. Hallelujah.
Margaret Botros.
Margaret will begin studying medicine at Case Western Reserve University. She thanks her family for their constant support, especially her mother, Maureen, whose example motivates Margaret to be her best self.
Bronwyn King Callahan.
Bronwyn is leaving for Jordan next year to be a history and social studies teacher at King's Academy.
Siu Chen.
CU is grateful for the opportunity to study at HDS. After graduation, she will continue to study Buddhism and lead the path to spread the Dharma. May all beings be peaceful, happy, and free.
Bill Connors.
Bill would like to thank his partner, Jeff, for his support during a 2-year long-distance relationship while Bill pursued his divinity school dream, or as Jeff calls it, Bill's midlife crisis.
Zachary Stephen Davis.
Zach is grateful to his wife, Maria, his parents, Stephen and Michelle, his second parents, Alexander and Natalia, and his HDS mentors, Diane Moore, David Holland, Michelle Sanchez, and Charlie Stang. Zach is accompanied by his child, Ariel Alexander Davis.
Emma Dorothea Delisle. John Henry Devoy IV.
In September, John will begin further medieval history graduate work at the University of Cambridge. There he will research Persian legacy and medieval Byzantium under Dr. Peter Sara's direction.
Kristen Nicole Dyer.
Nicole would like to express her gratitude to her family and friends, especially her roommates, for keeping her sane and alive long enough to finish her master's.
Peter J. Jejits.
Peter would like to thank his family and teachers for all of their support. He will be starting the PhD program in religious studies in the fall at Harvard.
Fatima Albakuri.
Fatima will continue her studies at Stanford's Teaching and Education program. She hopes to become a high school English teacher. She wants to thank God, family, friends, and the youth of Roxbury.
Clarissa Lisette Flores.
Clarissa is thankful for her loving family and friends who supported her throughout her journey from near and far. She especially wants to thank all those who traveled to celebrate this day with her.
Mira Fox. Hannah Gaze.
Hannah isn't sure what she's doing yet, but her focus on Russia and the far right seems relevant. Still, she'd like to thank her friends, family, boyfriend, and caffeine for making this degree happen.
Anais Gavagnon.
Anais will be teaching in a local private school next year. She is grateful for her HDS peers and mentors and is especially happy that her family is here today.
Ocean Gibson.
Ocean extends a special thank you to his advisor, Michelle Sanchez, and to Dan McCannon for supervising his research this semester. He looks forward to crossing paths with you all in the coming years.
Caitlin Ray Gordon.
Katie is working with Nuns and Nuns, a collaboration between Catholic sisters and spiritually diverse millennials. This summer, she will be living with the Erie Benedictines as the Joan Chittister intern.
William Richard Green.
William would like to thank God for the opportunity to attend Harvard, his advisor, Dr. Alupina, for guidance and opportunities, and especially his extraordinary wife, Joanna, for her insight and support.
Yin Guan.
Yin would like to dedicate her graduation from Harvard to her parents, Chung Wei Guan and Ming Wei Zhao, who immigrated to America 19 years ago. This moment belongs to them.
Stuart Robertson Haruyama.
Stuart is grateful to his HDS peers for their support and friendship during this journey. He will be going back home this summer to enjoy the majestic landscape of the Pacific Northwest.
Alexa Herlands. Sadada Aisha Jackson. Sana Jamal. Sagwan John.
Sagwan would like to give special thanks to his family, friends, and advisor, Professor Walton, for their unwavering support and belief in him. He will be pursuing a PhD in religion at Harvard in the fall.
Ciara Jones.
Sierra is grateful for the friends and family from the various facets of her life that have chosen to celebrate with her today. She is happily returning to sunny California and hopes to never shovel snow again in this lifetime.
Veronique Lene Jones.
Veronique thanks her entire family for being her rock. She dedicates this diploma to her papa, Booker T. Jones II, who showed her the radical love of her Lord and Savior, Jesus Christ.
Lamia Kandakar.
Lamia thanks her parents, Roxana and Mohammed, for being endlessly supportive of their daughter's goals. All of her successes are because of them, and this is their days as much as it is hers.
Julia Clan.
Instead of wandering through the stacks of Widener Library, Julia will spend the summer on a road trip exploring Iceland. She is thankful for the love and support of her family and her partner, Julian.
Chusung Lee. Megan B. Lee.
One day, Megan packed her bags of books and paper. One day, she said goodbye to Mango Street. Family did not know she went away to come back. For the ones she left behind, for the ones who cannot out.
Courtney Luke.
Courtney would like to thank her family and friends for their love and support.
Jonathan Murray McCransky.
Jonathan thanks his mom, dad, and Rose for their unwavering love and support, and Professors Gaiazzo, Hallisey, and Click for their wise presence in his academic and vocational journey.
Faith McClure.
Faith expresses enormous gratitude to Professors Michael Jackson, Charlie Hallisey, and Janet Gaiazzo for their wisdom, dedication, and brilliance.
David Melton.
David is deeply thankful for the loving support of his family and friends, those who in moments of doubt, exhaustion, and near surrender never failed to point out beauty and awaken hope.
Christopher Lee Morey.
Christopher is deeply grateful to his mother, Marie-Luz, and his wife, Wendy, who supported him pursuing his passion. He happily returns to Arizona for family, real Mexican food, and In-N-Out.
Alejandra Oliva.
After graduation, Alejandra will be working at the National Immigrant Justice Center in Chicago. She wants to thank her family and partner for their love and support.
Keshu Pan.
Keshu is deeply grateful for encountering all the amazing professors, mentors, and friends here at HDS. He will be working in the field of international education while pursuing his dream of writing.
Damanpreet Singh Palia.
Damanpreet will be continuing his studies as a doctoral student at Yale University. He would like to thank his friends and family for their love and support.
Chutsu Pang.
Chutsu wants to thank her family, people who loved her and she loves, for their patience and hope. Graduation reminds her of everyone who has touched her life. Many, many thanks.
Danielle Perrier. Ailey Margot Priscillico.
Ailey would like to thank her parents, James and Fiona, and her brother Cameron for their love.
Young Chu.
Young would like to thank his family for their love and support throughout the years. In September, Young will join the Department of South Asian Studies at Harvard as a PhD student.
Abhijit Ravinutula.
Abhi is grateful for everyone at HDS, especially Professor Monius and Hallisey, who made him a better Hindu in person. He will be working full-time and writing fiction on modern Hinduism.
Byron Russell.
Byron is thankful for a great academic experience at HDS and for the wonderful community here.
Denise Schlickburned.
Denise is deeply grateful to her blood and heart families and her advisor, Professor Giles, for their support. This fall, she'll apply to counseling psychology PhD programs and revel in full-time employment.
Shannon Noelani Schmidt.
Shannon will be continuing her projects at MIT and her work in political campaigning. She is deeply grateful to her constellation of loving supporters, especially her parents, Suzanne and James.
Andrew David Siegel. Mariam Siddiqui.
Miriam will be continuing her studies as a doctoral candidate at Columbia University in the fall. She would like to thank her parents for their love and support.
Barbara Elaine Silva.
Barbara would like to express her sincere gratitude to her family, friends, and the HDS community for their immense support during these 2 years of exploration and growth.
Michelle Madigan Somerville.
Michelle is grateful for her family, HDS staff, her professors, and HDS colleagues.
Kiki Sykes.
Passionate about the intersections of trauma, gender, and spirituality, Kiki begins a hospital chaplaincy residency in Minneapolis this fall. She leaves HDS grateful for the nourishment of loved ones.
Yuan Dao.
Yuan is grateful that HDS has not only helped her to succeed on her academic journey, but also taught her how to love, understand, and serve people better.
Thomas Verghese.
Thomas is grateful to HDS for creating an open and safe space to ponder the most difficult and profound questions of religion. He thanks his family for the unflinching faith, love, and encouragement.
Valerie Wagenfeld. William Reese Walker.
Will wants to thank his friends, family, and teachers for their warmth and support during his time at HDS. He'll be staying in Cambridge next year to enroll at Harvard Law School.
Chris Williams.
Chris thanks her mother and is grateful for HDS, Bobo's caretakers, the Williams of Weaver, and the Kindred Canadian. Never say goodbye because goodbye means going away, and going away means forgetting.
Manuel Zenquist.
A special show of gratitude for those who lost their lives in Hurricane Maria, and to those on the island who have subsequently endured. Decolonize Puerto Rico, decolonize the world.
Yifan Zhang.
Yifan offers thanks and praise to her loving parents, Miss Shou Zhou, and Miss Divhall Coffee Pods as many as you want. After graduation, Yifan is camping in Yosemite with her family and black bears.
Shahryar Zia.
Shahryar plans to continue his research on Islamic intellectual, social, and cultural history, focusing on the Near East and South Asia. He is thankful for his time at Harvard and to the HDS family.
Would the MTS graduates please rise? Dean Hempton, members of the faculty, family, and friends, I present to you the Master of Theological Studies graduates of 2019. be seated. We will now present the graduates for the degree of Master of Divinity. Donald Abram.
Don hails from the south side of Chicago, which he boasts so proudly. During his time at HDS, he has studied the intersections of race, religion, and politics.
Sidra Amina Ali.
To Miss Imrana Ali and Mr. Haider Ali, for the oceans you crossed, the homes you built, and the sacrifices you made, we thank you. To our guardians of HDS, Angel and Eddie, keep rockin'. To William, cheers.
Tony Amori Alcori.
Tony is grateful to all people who supported him in completing the first step in God's call to his life. He is ready to explore the next step in the journey of loving God, himself, and others.
Nina Sophia Bryce.
Nina is thankful to her family for their wisdom, support, and love. After graduation, she will continue her work with mindfulness programming for young adults at Harvard College and elsewhere.
Israel Bufardi.
Israel is entering ministry in the Unitarian Universalist Association. He is eternally grateful for the love and support of his partner Abigail and can't wait for the arrival of their firstborn.
Eric Michael Bussey.
Eric will continue studying human development and social ethics as a doctoral student in the fall. He is grateful for his family and for his partner Justin, whose care makes so much possible.
James Marston Boland Clay.
Bo would like to thank his family, Laura, Kathy, and Jerry, for their unending support and wisdom throughout his time here at HDS.
Juliana Cohen.
Juliana is grateful to Professors Browdy, Giles, Jackson, Hallisey, and Crosco for their time and unconditional support, and for modeling for her what commitment, compassion, trust, and brilliance look like. Juliana is accompanied by her daughter, Alma Cohen.
Christina Taina Desert.
Christina thanks her family and her mentors for their support. Starting this fall, she will be pursuing a PhD in Africana religion at Emory.
Jamie Eileen Dingus.
Jamie is grateful for the love and support of her community of friends and family. She's staying in Somerville one more year as she continues to seek ordination in the Unitarian Universalist Church.
Rebecca Doverspike.
Rebecca would like to thank her family and friends who continually offer their support to her life and are such a blessing. Rebecca will be embarking on a chaplaincy residency at MGH in the fall.
Jamie Drucker.
Jamie will continue her Jewish journey as the director of undergraduate programs at Harvard Hillel. She is grateful to her family for their endless love and support. She loves them to the moon and back.
Arik Bernard Fleming, Jr.
Arik will continue in his pursuit of music and ministry after HDS. He is grateful for his family and friends for all of their support and their faith in him as he journeys ahead.
Brittany Louise Foster.
Brittany would like to dedicate her degree to her late aunt, Barbara Elaine Jacobs. She also would like to express thanks and gratitude to her family, friends, and loved ones.
Joshua Gregory.
Joshua will be moving to Houston to pursue an MFA degree in poetry at the University of Houston this fall.
Shasha He.
Shasha is grateful to HDS for its 3 years supportive funding and community that helped her finish her MDiv degree. Shasha will become a mother and continue her education at law school after graduation.
Wilson Hood.
Wilson will begin work as a hospital chaplain later this year. He believes you must always have faith in people, and most importantly, in yourself. Congratulations, class of 2019. We did it.
Iman Bano Jaffrey.
Iman would like to express deep appreciation to her parents, Irshad and Faruqa, siblings and friends for their continued love, support, and assertions that she can do whatever she sets her mind to.
Elam David Jones.
Elam is grateful for the love and support of his family and friends, and to HDS for most notably deepening his understanding of spiritual care and counseling. After graduation, he will continue serving in the role of an officer and chaplain candidate for the U.S. Navy.
John Paul LaPena.
John Paul is grateful for the love and support of his wife, family, and his professors, as well as everyone who encouraged him, except his high school principal, who said he would not go to college.
Vicky Jolin Lee.
HDS is a treasured gift to Vicky. She thanks the dean, her professors, classmates, Renata the research librarian, Rock Cafe, HDS tech support, Squirrels, Mother Oak Tree, God, Dora, Alexis, and Greg.
Isaac Provencio Martinez, Jr.
Isaac will be ordained a deacon in the Episcopal Church this Saturday. He will be placed as a missional curate in a Boston parish to explore new forms of Christian gathering starting this summer.
Samantha Melton.
Sam would like to especially extend her thanks to her parents, all of her supervisors and professors, and of course her wife Brittany, for their endless love, support, and patience.
Samantha Menepace. Butana Petros Moleafer.
Born in apartheid South Africa, he would like to thank his single mom, Emily, the entire Moleafer clan, living in Ancestral, for walking with him, the Dennis, McKee, Keys, and Thomases for believing in him.
Rafaela Mueller.
Rafaela will complete a year of OPT, optional practical training, before attending seminary and entering candidacy for ordained ministry in the Lutheran Church.
Bridget Ellen Power.
Bridget would like to thank her family, classmates, teachers, mentors, and all of the staff at HDS for supporting her over the past 3 years. She is filled with gratitude.
Lisa Mary Richmond.
Lisa would like to thank her professors, friends, and family for their support during her time at HDS. She would especially like to thank her parents, Fred and Anita, for all their love and encouragement.
Heather Rick.
Heather is grateful for all of those who have supported low-income students at HDS. She is looking forward to the coming class war.
McLean Howard Sellers.
Mac is returning to the Midwest to be close to friends and family while he figures out next steps. Thanks to his fam for sticking with him through these past few years. Much love.
Shira Aviva Telushkin.
Shira will continue working as a religion writer in New York. She is grateful to her friends, family, and advisors, and to all the 4th century Egyptian monks who accompanied her on this journey.
Cassie Underwood.
Cassie is grateful for the love and support of her husband, Mike Murphy, her son, Wallace, her parents, family, friends, and guides at HDS and beyond. She dedicates this degree and her career as writer, speaker, and teacher of spirituality to her late aunt, Lisa Underwood, a woman of valor, good humor, and strength.
Sophia Rose Wallman.
Sophia offers thanks for the imagination, cooperation, and commitment cultivated together. She will continue these practices towards a just and peaceful world free of nuclear weapons and war.
Dean Hempton, members of the faculty, family, and friends, I present to you the Master of Divinity graduates of 2019. Would you please rise and be recognized? And now you may be seated. We will now present the graduates for Doctor of Theology. Reed Carlson.
Dissertation title, Possession and Other Spirit Phenomena in Biblical Literature. Reed thanks his family for their support and encouragement. Next fall, he begins a new position as Assistant Professor of Old Testament at United Lutheran Seminary in Pennsylvania.
Emily Ryder Neal.
Dissertation title, Troubling the Body, a Feminist Critique of Corporal Politics. Emily graduates from the Religion, Gender, and Culture program 10 years after the fact and gives thanks to Elizabeth Schussler Fiorenza and Dr. West. She returns to her dream job at WGS at MIT tomorrow. Amen.
Axel Mark Oakes Takach.
Dissertation title, Imagining Forth the Incarnation, a Theopoetics of the Flesh. Axel is thankful for the love and support of his spouse, Kim, and for the joy that his son, Emery, brings him. He will be joining the faculty of the Department of Religion at Seton Hall University in the fall.
Dean Hempton, members of the faculty, family, and friends. Let Axel take his photo. Beautiful. I present to you the THD graduates of 2009. You may stand and be recognized. Congratulations.
I just want to thank Tim and Steph, and Annie, Jamie, all the members of the Office of Student Services for your work, thought, and effort to make this ceremony so festive and so seamless and so beautiful. Thank you. Thanks, Annie. So now we get to eat and drink and celebrate. So I hope to meet and see many of you at our luncheon under the tent on the Francis Avenue side of Andover Hall. I wish everyone the best of luck and look forward to hearing about your accomplishments in the future. All good wishes from all of us here. So I would ask that our guests remain seated until all the graduates have processed out of the tent and eaten all of the food. And so the platform party and the faculty will now lead the graduates out of the tent. Thank you so much, everyone, for being here. Okay.